years and years. We got Corey with this question. What will mean more in the Miami of Ohio game to display a dominant run game or a dominant pass game?
Joaquin said dominate. I don't really discriminate on that. I think it needs to be all three phases. 4 phases, 5 phases. So offense, defense, and special teams. I want the game planning, so that's a separate phase. And I want the in-game coaching, which is a separate phase. I want all 5 phases. If you want to add in a couple other things, like the fans being there and being loud, that's a 6th phase. If you want the luck to go our way, that's a 7th phase. I want every single phase to be domination. That's what I think we should see. So, yeah, I want to see a dominant run game. I want to see is whenever we really want to, get what we want to on the ground. Whether, what was his name? Leroy Horde, University of Michigan, and the Cleveland Browns. You need 3 yards, I'm going to get you 4. You need 5 yards, I'm going to get you 4. Sometimes you just need the 4 yards, right? Because, 4 yards of the clip all the way down the field, that's a first down every 3 plays and a touchdown at the end of the drive. Also, I want to see some holes get gashed open like the Red Sea, and one of these running backs, shout out to A.J. Allen, redshirt freshman from Louisiana who transferred from Nebraska, hey, maybe he gets loose for 70 or 80 yards. I would love to see that. I also want to see this passing game, which we've been talking about. Tyler Van Dyke was written by Adam Lichtenstein of the South Florida Sun-Sentinel today. Tyler Van Dyke was talking about last year the offense was centered around get open first, with like no real deep throw component. And it's like this year, we're pushing the ball vertical. I want to see it, and I want to see it at a high level, which we know that Tyler Van Dyke can deliver, but connecting with his receivers. Jacoby George, who every time that there's a practice session, every time that there's a camp of any kind since he's been here, Jacoby George is uncoverable. He's the greatest. He's going to be blah, blah, blah. I would love to maybe see that on the field. I would love to see Ray Joseph get loose. I would love to see Colby Young head top somebody. I would love to see Elijah Arroyo and Riley Williams and Cam McDonald, even the 97th year tight end from Oregon. He's probably going to be more of a run blocker, but hey, even if he catches a couple passes and things like that, I want to see that. I want to see stuffs in the run game. I want to see blitzes. I want to see tackles for loss. I want to see big hits, interceptions, fumbles recovered. I want to see great well, actually, I don't even want to see the punter. I want to see the punter when he's holding for field goals and extra points. I want to see great kicking as the Borregales kicking dynasty continues. I want to see incredible return game. I want to see energy. I want to see all that stuff. So no matter how many phases you count in the game, right, whether you want to be, okay, fine, Cam is exaggerating for comedic effect, which he sometimes does. I do. If you want to stick to the tenets of football, offense, defense, special teams, domination. You want to add in coaching? Domination. You want to add in all those other things? Domination. That's what I want to see holistically. Why? Because Joaquin said dominate, and I remember that shit.
Not to put a negative spin to this, but this holds true for any team that's a substantial favorite in week 1. There is, and I'll see if you agree with this, there is more to be taken from an outing like this to the negative than to the positive. Meaning if Miami is all of that in week 1 against Miami of Ohio, this is a likely 500 team in the MAC, then that will be great. Those will be good indicators that things are on the right track, great performance. That's what we expect to see. Let's say it's a 45-10 game. Versus, okay, but it was against Miami of Ohio. Versus if there are struggles and shortcomings, then that there's more to take away from that is most likely legitimate than to the positive end because of the opponent.
I will put this to you exactly from last year. After Miami only beat Southern Miss 30-7, that's when I wrote that there was a problem with the lack of explosivity on offense. I said that was, that's when I wrote that piece, and everybody told me it's too small a sample size and all those things, right? But after that close win, right, which was closer than it should have been because they ran an offense that we weren't prepared for. Southern Miss, really, bro? I mean, I know they're scholarship players, but like, come on, right? So after that, then Spidey senses started tingling, I know Inside the U wrote some stuff. I know Sun Sentinel, Miami Herald, myself, I know that a bunch of different people wrote a couple things that were like, yeah, Miami won, but, right? And again, that was a 23-point win that didn't even feel like it was a 3-touchdown win because it really wasn't for much of the game. You know what I mean? So to your point, yeah, if there's a similar struggle this year with a similar level kind of a team in, Miami, Ohio versus Southern Miss, I know it's the opener versus the second game, but if the, performance that we see is similar, then I think that, I don't know what exactly the questions will be because it'll be based upon the performance, but I think there will be more questions that could be asked, especially ahead of a week 2 game against Texas A&M, coming down the pipe real quick.